show you how to properly clean the Kick Butt coffee urn, which we have right here. And they're pretty mobile, so you can pick them up and move them as you please. What I like to do first is take the tray out because it's usually filled with nasty coffee and such. And rather than spill it all over yourself while you're moving the urn into the kitchen, you can dump it here and give it a quick rinse. It's pretty easy. And then you just take this, pop it back in the urn. Make sure this piece is facing the back of the urn when you pop it back in. And make sure the grate is facing outward so that you can, when you pull this out, there's a lever in the back right here. You push it down and you can pull the tray out. And it's easier for your finger to reach in here. See, if it's this way, you've got this piece right here blocking. You can't stick your finger in. So make sure that you keep the grate facing outward. And to move these, it's pretty simple. You just grab them. There's 3 columns. You can grab 2 on the sides. It's the easiest. They're pretty light. First thing what you want to make sure of is to open this, you grab the 2 levers in the front, which then gives you access to the, I don't know exactly what they call this either, but it's pretty much the gauge that tells you how much coffee is in the urn and how long it's been in there. Whenever there's liquid inside, it'll pretty much go off. But to clean this, you don't want to submerge it, otherwise you will mess up the computer inside. Do not submerge. And so what you do is you get some pretty warm water. Just give it a quick rinse. It might get all over you, but that's part of the job, It's a quick rinse. And then you want to lay it to the side to dry. So just kind of lean it in a safe place. And then what you want to do after that is the filter on, or the nozzle on here that lets the coffee pour has two modes. Do not serve, which pretty much locks it into place. See, there's coffee inside, which is why we're cleaning it. And that'll pretty much keep it the constant flow going, so that whenever you clean it off, you can just run water in and it'll run straight through, which I'm about to show you in a second. But the other side's just for quick drinks, To undo this, I've never really dealt with this. How does it work? Oh, there it goes. You just push the bottom up. There's like the gray piece. You just push it straight up. Push it down straight to lock it. It'll lock this piece on, which is what you gotta do for the morning people. Because if this piece is open like this, whenever you go to pour the coffee, the head will usually, like last time, it just shot right off, and there's coffee all over the place. It's a big mess for us to clean up. But what you do with this is you take this and you can submerge this in the soapy water, let it soak for a little while. Just make sure you get it nice and clean so that we don't get soapy, nasty coffee, And what you want to do with the top is there's this piece that keeps the heat inside for when the coffee's brewing. It keeps it nice and warm for several hours. So it's like a fresh pot all day almost. But you flip it down to clean it, and what you do is you want to flip this lid down. Also when the coffee's brewing, that's more so the case, is whenever the coffee's brewing, it brews straight in, and instead of having it hit the piece and go everywhere, you have a pot of coffee rather than a puddle on the floor. And then pretty much, you want to take this apart before you put it in the sink. And then this is, you can submerge this as well. You just want to dump the pieces into the sink, make sure you get them nice and clean. Just for the urn, you want to place this in the sink to where you can reach it with the faucet. And it's okay to open this, and just make sure you get, you can see down in there where the coffee has been like staining it, so you want to make sure that the water's really hot, which is why you don't really want to mess with it. And it's also good to keep the head on to keep it from flowing out so quickly, which I will do after I wash it. But that's pretty much the tutorial. You leave the head on, you leave it to where it's closed, to where the urn can fill up with the hot water. And then you let it soak for, I usually let it soak for about a minute. And then what I do is I flip it to the do not serve. The do not serve side, you flip it down, and it'll let it all drain out. You can even let it run through some more, you know. Even drop some soap in there would be good. Make sure you clean it out nice and clean though. And that's pretty much it for coffee brewing.